Hello and welcome to another edition of Pulp Picks. My name is Patrick.
I'm Fritz.
And we're here to give you this week's reading recommendations on New Comic Book Day. So for those of you in the know, this will be a review, but for those of you just tuning in for the first time, or maybe the second or third time, every Wednesday, new comic book releases hit the shelves. And so we like to go through and read as many as we can before we get here and give you our recommendations. But they are just recommendations with a brief synopsis. We also like to hear from you, and we'll get to that at the end of the video. But Fritz, what did you go with this week?
Yeah.
It's all number ones with one of them's kind of an asterisk.
So yeah, one of them gets in on technicality. But I went with Bleeding Hearts issue 1, the kind of like real true return to Vertigo for DC. Technically, they rebranded the Nice House series of books that Tinian's been doing as Vertigo books. But this is the first actual new book under the imprint since they're doing their whole big push for that this year again, trying to make it a thing.
I may have just ordered a backlit Vertigo sign for the store. I spent way too much money on it. I shouldn't have done it. But it looked really cool. I know. It's almost 3 feet wide. It's going to fit in the window nicely. It's going to be cool. Anyway.
So Bleeding Hearts is a story of what kind of happens after the zombie apocalypse has more or less kind of happened and is running its course. There's not really a whole lot of humanity left, it seems. It's mostly just the shambling hordes kind of marching across the country. And a big reason I was excited for this book is it is the official reteaming of one of my favorite creative teams of all time, Dennis Camp and Stepi Morian, the creative team behind 20th Century Men over at Image Comics, which is just one of my favorite books of all time. And so them getting to do a thing together, because they've each been kind of doing their own thing here and there. Camp has been doing a bunch of the Ultimate stuff and Absolute stuff. Morian has been doing some other books here and there. But having them back together, doing a book where we've got our main character here, Poke, is kind of rediscovering his humanity and what that means when you've spent however long being a zombie is very interesting and dangerous for him because humans exist only to be food. There's a whole conversation in here where one character is just like, oh, have we ever considered creating like a breeding population just because what else are we supposed to do for food? And so
that's horrifying.
Yeah, just like instantly you understand, oh, people are not considered really like people to the zombies. They're really just the food source. But there's also, Poco's at length to talk about how there's this certain kind of like love that zombies have for them, just in kind of the same way that like maybe if you were just like, oh, it's nice seeing a deer out on the countryside because
I sure could go for some venison.
I want to eat that at some point. Like, and it's just very interesting kind of how they explore aspects of kind of, I don't know if we call it like a culture yet, but how the zombie society kind of exists.
Yeah.
Because they get into, because we just kind of move from place to place, we're very nomadic. There's no exact real kind of like hierarchical structure. People just kind of come and go as they please. But people do, there are zombies that develop bonds. There's a whole thing about Poke and his friend Mush, like how they met and they're kind of like bond together. Also, I just love how zombie names work because they just kind of call each other something based off of like an aspect of them. Like there's a guy in here whose name is Unhinges John Eats Crying Baby Whole.
Oh God.
Yeah, no. Or the reason that Poke's name is Poke is because it is short for, let me get it here quick. Where is it? Mouse pokes pokes golf ball out of head hole.
Oh, sure. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it just the way that they...
Is that taken directly from Scrooged?
Oh, God. Huh.
Yeah.
Things to ponder. But, yeah, just really how this whole world works now. And we only kind of, like, really scratch the surface of it here, because it's just the first issue. But I'm already very much kind of enraptured with the whole dynamic of what does it mean to live or unlive in this kind of world.
Ooh,
and
well played.
Yeah. and what that's going to mean going forward with interacting with other zombies and other humans.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. Maureen's art is no surprise, just absolutely gorgeous. Just everything about it, the difference in terms of like body size and look for everyone. Everyone is so distinct
Sure.
and recognizable right off the bat. Just the way some limbs are mismatched, how someone's got like tire tracks down the middle. It's great. Camp is always, I mean, how often do we have a camp tile up here? Pretty much every time one comes out. Yeah. So no surprise there. Just really enjoy this book. Super excited. If all the other Vertigo books are half this good, this line's going to be doing fine.
DC's got such a good track record lately. I think that there is a lot of reason for optimism for this new Vertigo line. Yeah. It feels like the right time for them to do this well.
Speaking of newer line of comics they've been doing well.
So I went with Absolute Wonder Woman Annual #1. And so in this slightly oversized annual issue, we get a singular story of Wonder Woman, and she's going to clean up some loose ends. So way back at the beginning, when she was taken on the Tetracide, she assumed the form of Medusa to be able to fight it. And in doing so, she was able to have a lot of empathy for the way that Medusa has to live, and basically in a prison of her own body. You know, her ability to interact with others is severely limited by the fact that they cannot make eye contact, and nobody can look at her and see her. It kind of reminded me of like the whole King Midas thing, right? Wish to be able to turn anything into gold that he touched, and then that means that you can't touch anything that you care about, even your daughter, unless you were to turn her into gold. But yeah, so this kind of classic Greek tragedy thing, right? So how does Wonder Woman help Medusa then? Well, read Absolute Wonder Woman Annual #1 because that's literally what this whole thing is about. But there were some really good themes in here, and I think this is one of those examples of when you take the core of a character and you keep that core very, much intact, and you put it in different scenarios or different worlds. A lot of Wonder Woman is about seeing the way things should be and seeing the best in people. And then also, living up to the expectations of the best person she can be. And so that really is kind of a theme through this whole thing. And it is kind of a classic Greek trials too kind of thing, So I just really like how they've been going about this whole series. And this is no exception. The art was really beautiful in it.
I particularly loved how it kind of played with the notion of how real is myth and like how humanity and history interact with it. Like there's a great bit where, because the question comes up of like how much of what we know about Medusa is true, and someone points out just like, listen, man, if all the stories were true, she'd be dead by now anyway. So clearly something's not like adding up there. And they also don't try to create the actual narrative, which I think is smart as a storyteller, right? Like leave it out there because that's kind of not the point, right? Part of it is the not knowing,
right? And whether Medusa was unjustly punished or justly punished. Has that punishment been enough? Has it gone on long enough that we can give this person some autonomy again, give them their freedom to be who they would like to be? And so, it was really good. The whole Wonder Woman being transformative to other people is really just a great theme that they have done really well in here. And, I would say they're also doing a good job of that on the main Wonder Woman title as well right now. but particularly in this Absolute Wonder Woman, because she's coming into a world that has little to no expectations for her, so that it's really interesting to see her just immediately exceed so many expectations, especially the expectations of a god. So interesting. All right, well, speaking of exceeding expectations, our consensus pick, we both surprisingly really liked
Wade
it's easy for you to say.
Apparently not. Wade Wilson Deadpool, number 1. I keep almost turning into the priest from Princess Bride. It's just
Wow.
one day it's going to happen for real. But this book, like you said, I generally speaking really enjoy a lot of the stuff I've read from Benjamin Percy. I feel like he's usually had a good handle on Deadpool when he's shown up in other stuff that he's done. But I don't know, wasn't really sure what to think of this new book coming out. And turns out, real good.
Yeah. I, a long time ago, heard that Ben Percy was going to be taking on a book at Marvel as he was moving over to Marvel. And the first book that I thought, what would I like to see Ben Percy on? It was Deadpool. That was not the book. It's been, almost 10 years now that he's been, since he took on Ghost Rider, right, at Marvel.
10?
But it's been close. 8? No, maybe not 6.
No.
6. It was definitely, was it not pre-COVID?
It was, I'm pretty sure it was post-COVID.
Time's such a weird thing, man.
How old do you think your kids are?
Well, 20 and 10.
Okay.
Somewhere else.
Okay, you at least remember
16.
that. You got that timeline right.
Yeah.
Because for a second, there's like, do you think your kids are like 30 or something now?
Well, I mean, they were, Bryn was like 8 when I bought the store, man. So, it's been a long time. Yeah. But anyway. So, because he was doing Green Arrow at the beginning of Rebirth.
Yeah, he was doing
DC.
That Titans did a little
Titans,
for
that's right. Yeah, so he was there for quite a while. But then, came over to Ghost Rider. Yeah, it had to have been 6 or 7 years ago.
I'm pretty sure it was post-COVID.
Yeah, maybe, but I mean,
because I'm pretty
sure pulling up on 6 years ago that we reopened after COVID. So. Yeah. 6 years ago we closed down for COVID.
Yeah.
Just about. So anyway, the point being, I really wanted to see him writing a Deadpool book because I thought that he would do a really good combination between the humor, the violence, and then also just telling an interesting human story. And it turns out I was really smart because that's what this is.
Yeah, no. I think a big part of that is, we were talking about this a bit beforehand. So we've got Percy on writing. We've got Jeff Shaw, who I think most people are probably know from his various collaborations with Donny Cates, whether it was on his Thanos run or his Guardians run.
Oh, yeah.
But he does such a good job of having these very violent, over-the-top moments without it ever feeling super cartoony, which not that you can't do that in a Deadpool book. If anything, that's one of the books where you can really lean into that.
Yes.
But I think having this kind of more grounded, still over-the-top kind of violence here really lends itself to just where Deadpool is as a character at this point.
Yeah.
Because Deadpool, without getting too into it, is very much going through some stuff here. Like, something has happened that has made him, like, he's still very Deadpool just in terms of he's very violent, he's very scatterbrained and scatological in terms of his humor. But he's also clearly, like, he's working through some bad stuff that's happened that he, at the very least, whether or not he actually is the cause of it, feels like he is part of the problem there. Yeah. Which is a very Deadpool thing to deal with in terms of just, like, not really loving himself in any way.
Well, and I think sometimes with the Deadpool books, it can be easy to just lean too much into the humor and just go, we're just going all out, totally crude. Every panel is going to be filled with some sort of, graphic joke about something.
I know we're wrong. There's a good chunk of that in here for sure.
For sure, but I think, or violence if it's all out violence and he's just a homicidal maniac or whatever. Like a lot of times people can just lean a little too heavily in one direction or the other when writing Deadpool, and I felt like this book had a lot of good balance between all of those things and a story that actually became interesting and engaging very quickly.
Yeah, and I love, like you're saying, the breadth of the humor here, because there's times where it's like it's genuinely funny. There's sometimes where it's just like kind of like, oh, I don't know how to feel about that kind of funny. There's times where it's kind of annoying funny, but like in a way where it's very clearly supposed to be like, you're supposed to be kind of annoyed to be like, why is he doing this?
Yes,
like you're supposed, that's the emotion he wants to engender in what he's doing. It works really well here.
Yeah, and I enjoy Deadpool breaking the fourth wall, but when you do it too often,
it becomes a good amount here. Yeah.
It is just right,
and it does a lot in terms of they've got the little caption boxes of like, oh, he's referring to like this story, but then other times it's just a random aside in there. It's like okay, that's a good way of playing it. It worked really
well, yeah. So I was really, really pleased with this. Good job, Ben. I really enjoyed this book, and I'm looking forward to issue number 2 more than I've looked forward to an issue 2 of Deadpool in a long time.
And I've enjoyed all of his other solo series recently, and this is just another in a long line of just good Deadpool comics. Yeah. And I, again, really enjoy that it's not trying to be too tied down by previous runs, but also still building off of stuff that happened in them.
For sure. And this is a classic story in 3 acts, right? You've got the opening that kind of sets the stage of where he's at and what he's doing. Then you get the second one where it's revealed why he's doing it, and you kind of live with him in that in-between where he's not out acting upon it, he's dwelling on it, and then in the third act you get mysterious benefactor and pushing into where is this going to lead us now.
The bit with the pigeon was really good.
The bit with the pigeon, again, fourth wall kind of stuff, it was really fun. But I very much enjoyed this. So all right, well, so these are our top 3 picks. What we're close to making it up here for you this week. It was a good week.
Oh yeah, no. We've got our new Moon Knight #1 also out this week. So it
was close.
It was very close. It still would have been a whole row of #1s, funny enough. But we've got, it's the start of a whole new arc. Mark has been captured. They're trying to get some information out of him, and they clearly they understand that they're dealing with Moon Knight here, but also at the same time, as anyone who's been reading a Moon Knight comic should know, no matter how much you think you understand what you're doing when it comes to trying to like handle Mark, you don't really know what you're doing. So no, that was really good. Same creative team, so don't worry. If you've been following, you can just pick it up, have no issue. If you're new, it's a very good way to kind of like get you started just in terms of being dropped into like, oh, this is a very disturbed man. A good man, but a disturbed man.
It's a good soft jumping.
Yeah, it's we both enjoy Transformers. It's basically a big punch fight this issue. Lots of robots being tossed around. Had the end of Ultimate X-Men this week. Very bittersweet to see that go. Yeah.
Next week, Ultimate Spider-Man? Is that right?
In theory.
Oh?
Well, because it would be funny if it got delayed again. Fun fact, they also delayed the end of Ultimate Endgame to like June.
Oh, man. It's on the... I think it's on this... I'll tell you after.
Yeah, it's... The video. But yeah, no, I feel like there was a bunch of other stuff this week. It was a big week.
DCKO. We talked about DCKO.
DCKO was fun. There's a great bit with the Joker early on in this issue. That was a lot of fun. Anything else in particular for you?
I think we covered most of them.
She-Hulk, you really enjoyed.
She-Hulk, Planet She-Hulk, yes. Heads will roll, and the plot thickens.
And hearts may be broken.
And mended, as it turns out. It was a really good book. I enjoyed it. We didn't have Aaron Cooter on this one, though.
No, they've been
an artist.
Yeah, they've been kind of like switching between issues. Him and Emilio Lassio is, I think
that's right. Yeah. So very good. They work well as kind of.
I think they've got like the same colorist team, so it helps mesh together better.
No, it was really good, and we got something that I'm excited about. I've never really read much of it. I know that you know more about it, but so. a new Transformers compendium for the UK comics.
So for those who don't know, back in the 80s, so there was the US comic that we have copies of, but there was also in the UK, they were publishing their own version.
Yeah.
And I think originally, if I remember correctly, it started off as just reprints of the American comic, but eventually they just started doing their own thing. And
well, I mean, you could flip to the first couple pages and find out.
Oh, good point, yeah. Oh, no, that is very much
totally different from the get-go.
Yes, that is. It's very
Maybe
much
they have a different jumping on point.
Yeah. But no, so like the whole thing with the UK comic, it is its own distinct continuity from the original Marvel stuff. But things that were being done here, the main writer for a good chunk of it was Simon Furman, who basically they just hit a point where it's just, oh, we're just going to have him write the US comic too. Like, so this series is where a bunch of stuff that what you consider just the mainstay of Transformers canon, of various Transformers canons, and he's the one who introduced the whole concept of Primus and Unicron being these kind of like god and devil figures that are at the like center of like a Transformers creation myth. He is the one who did a bunch of character work that really made certain characters like Galvatron kind of stand out. He had this whole, if I remember correctly, they had this whole thing with him and Ultra Magnus having this rivalry together. Just a bunch of what would kind of become classic Transformers started here before kind of bleeding over into the US stuff.
And I know that there's been a debate with, diehard Transformers fans as to which one is the superior comic. So I'm very interested to dig into this one.
It's also, and this is the case with most, because if you know anything about Marvel UK stuff, they did a bunch of other things, but because it was technically a different publishing branch of the company, they really never collected much of any of it in any format. So the fact that this is, I think, unless you have the original issues, one of the only times you've ever been able to actually like buy any of this, like that's just kind of wild.
Yeah. And it's like half the price of what a comparable omnibus of this size would cost. So very cool.
Yeah, no, if you're a big Transformers person, definitely check it out. If you're just kind of like curious to see like how these things diverge from each other, definitely check it out.
Yeah. We also have a special this week kind of to dovetail into the whole Transformers thing. Larry Hama's got a new book, and Larry Hama, of course, was the writer of G.I. Joe, Real American Hero forever and ever and ever. He's got a new series called The Center Holds that, due to ordering shenanigans, we ended up getting more than we anticipated. So we're selling it at a loss, to be honest, to give you an opportunity to try it out, because we've got so many copies. So rather than, what are those at, $4.99? Is that what cover is?
Probably.
We're doing them at $1.99 for you to try out. So it should be interesting. It's the beginning of a Boom Studios superhero universe, is kind of my understanding. And there's a guy with an elephant mask that I haven't really dug into it too terribly far yet, but I have read a lot of the original Larry Hama G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, and the guy's a good writer. So
I mean, he's people always talk about like the original like Claremont and Miller stuff, but he's as big a reason as to like why Wolverine is the character he is now.
Absolutely. And also like Frank Miller, kind of a dual threat in that his pencil work is fantastic too. So all right. Well, so we said at the beginning of the video that we like to hear what you like reading. So be sure to like, follow, subscribe, comment, and share, and stop on into your local comic shop, because our staff here loves to talk to people about what they're enjoying. It broadens our horizons a bit. It gives us good information for when people are coming in looking for recommendations. But it's also just fun to talk about a shared interest with people. So we really enjoy doing that. We'll be back next week with more Pulp Picks. Until then, enjoy the reading.
Keep rolling, 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 rolling. What?